Good morning, you gorgeous lot, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicky and this is my 37-week pregnancy update. I hope you're all well and thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, welcome. So, not sure why I'm so cheery today. I mean, I am happy, but what is it about turning 37 weeks full term and thinking the baby can come any day? I mean, I know the baby could come any day, but prior to being 37 weeks pregnant, I was not thinking that way, and I was really patient, and everyone said to me, I bet you're ready to meet him now. I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I'm like quite happy to wait. Now I'm like, am I in labour? Is this it? Yeah, this is it. I really want to meet him now. I'm so impatient. Like, I didn't think I'd be like this. The car seat is in the car. The hospital bags are in the car. Everything is ready. Anyway, what a long intro. So I am 37 weeks pregnant. I am full term. I am ready to meet this baby boy. We have chosen a name. Everything's set up. And yeah, just really, really excited. If you notice something slightly different about me, so I have got my Invisalign in. You can't really see it, but it does make me talk funny and it kind of pushes out my bottom lip, which I'm a little bit conscious of. But I'm totally loving it. It's really, really comfortable now, if anyone was interested in that. Another update on myself, I've had all my hair chopped. So I decided to chop my hair and go back a bit darker, just because I wanted something easy for when the baby comes. I'm actually loving it. I'm loving the ease of like being able to do it. Yeah, just totally loving it. So I'm just going to run through my symptoms, how I've been feeling the last couple of weeks, and then I'm going to go onto the app and then I'm going to show you my bump. This video is also going to be a how I lost my baby weight little talk through last time and how I intend to do it this time. So I'm going to talk about that after I've talked about my symptoms. So one of the biggest symptoms I've been having are Braxton Hicks. It's a bit of a tease really, because every time I'm like, is this it? I know I've had a baby before, but I was induced, so I'm not sure how natural labour feels when it starts. Some people say it's like period pains. If anyone like can comment and let me know their experience, that would be amazing, or message me. Also, like, he is really low in my pelvis, and I know that because when I was pregnant with Oscar, I felt like he was scratching his way out. Like I'll be walking along and I'll go, oh, like that, because I honestly feel like he's scratching like right in there. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna come out. I've been getting that a lot, and with Oscar, he came out with his hand by his head and his thumb up like this, and his thumbnail was really long. And I said to the midwife, was he scratching me from the inside? She was like, yeah, that'd be exactly what it is. So yeah, so that's been happening a lot. The other thing I've been getting is insomnia. I had this about a month ago and I had it twice last week. It was really annoying. I think it's more I'm waking up and I'm thinking, am I in labour? Because it is like getting really uncomfortable to sleep. So I might be laid on my side and I might accidentally go onto my back, which wakes me up because it's not very comfortable. And then I'll have like little pains in my tummy. That wakes me up, and then I think, am I in labour? And because I can't get that out of my head, my mind goes into overdrive and I can't stop thinking. So that's really annoying. I think one day last week, I actually got up at 4 AM because I was fed up of tossing and turning, and I was awake from 4. And then a couple of days later, I woke up at about 2, but I managed to go back to sleep about 3:30, 4. So it wasn't too bad. But it must just be your body's way of getting you ready, because soon those sleepless nights are going to be a lot worse. Don't I know it? The other thing that I am getting is going for a wee a million times a night. He must be sitting on my bladder. Now, when I went for my midwife appointment, they said I was 1/5 engaged. If I'm honest, and this is no offence to the midwife, pretty sure they just say that on your 36-week appointment, because I've spoken to a couple of people and they've said the same thing. Oh yeah, I'm 1/5 engaged, 1/5 engaged. I just think they say that. How can they tell? So I'm not really fussed by any of that, because he'll engage when he's ready, when I'm in labour maybe, and I know sometimes it doesn't happen till then. Oscar was back to back until about a week before my induction, so you know, what can you do? What does my app say for 37 weeks pregnant? For anybody wondering, I use the Baby Centre app. I've used it the entire pregnancy. So, your baby is about as long as a stalk of Swiss chard. Chard? I don't even know what that is. I mean, it looks like a... I don't know if you can pick up the phone. See that thing at the top? Not even sure what that is. Anyway, your baby weighs over 2.9 kilos. Oh, whilst we talk about 2.9 kilos, I was weighed at the midwife's and I'd put on 8 kilos, I think it is. I really don't care what I put on. I don't know whether that's good, bad, indifferent, not sure. But if the baby's nearly 3 kilos plus the placenta, so I haven't put on too much weight, so hopefully it won't be too hard to lose. Your baby continues to work his facial muscles by practicing pouts, frowns and grimaces. His toenails should now reach the end of his toes and may even continue to grow beyond this. Exactly what I said about fingernails. I reckon he's got a long fingernail. Your baby will still have a regular pattern of movements. Now, yeah, this is a bit of a weird subject because obviously the midwives always say to you, you know, is he moving okay? Yeah, I think so. Do I know what pattern he moves in every day? No, it's different every day. There's never a pattern. And the thing is, I know that you've got to be super careful, and I've already been in for reduced movements once, and I would if I genuinely felt like there was a problem. But it's really difficult to pinpoint your pattern of movements for the baby because they do move differently every day. Some days, either I don't notice him or he's very quiet during the day and then he goes mad at night, like all through the night. And other days he's going mental. Like I was having my hair done the other day. Oh, he was moving loads, like absolutely loads, just constant moving all day long, and then went quiet in the evening. So those 2 days were one day after another and they were completely different, but I was still happy with his movements because he was moving a lot. So I'm not sure. From my experience, I feel like as long as you're feeling them regularly, and if ever I'm worried, which I do worry, I spoke about this in my last video, I do give him a prod, I lie on my left side, I have a cold drink of water. As soon as he starts moving, I think, oh yeah, he's okay. So that's good. Talking about my midwife appointments. So I put something on my Instagram last week and so many of you replied to my story, which was just lovely and it made me feel so much happier. I went to the midwife and they told me that my bump was not growing in the way it should. Basically, just to explain it a little bit more, I grew very quickly. So when I first started getting measured, I was kind of like above the centile, the 50th centile, is it? Or there's a graph in your maternity notes and there's the middle line and then you can be above or below it or on it or whatever. I was quite high above it. So I was like exceeding what I should be, what is normal at that stage. And then in the last 2 appointments, I dropped below it. So she just said, I want to know why his rate of growth has changed. It could be that he's in a funny position. It could be that you just carry him really neatly. But it did worry me because I never had this with Oscar. And if any of you have followed my pregnancy journey, it has not been plain sailing. I have had 3 hospital visits and now I've been booked in for a growth scan. So it's all a little bit new to me. My pregnancy with Oscar had no issues at all. I have been told that the bleeds that I've had and then this growth is completely unrelated, but I cannot help but worry and think, why is this pregnancy so complicated? And I know it's not complicated compared to some people's. I know I haven't had any sickness. I'm really lucky with that. But the main reason I want him here now is so I can stop worrying, because it's just constant worrying. And I know that's a mother's intuition and mother's instinct and everyone feels the same, but I just cannot stop worrying. I'm constantly thinking, oh my goodness, is he moving? Just all the stuff all the time. So I actually haven't had my growth scan through yet. So my appointment was last Thursday. By the time this goes live, I may have had it because it will be nearly a week. They told me to wait a week for the appointment. This is Monday that I filmed this and I feel like chasing them today just because I might just say to them, can you just do it so I can put my mind at ease? I'm sure they're really busy, but I want to know why his rate of growth has changed as well, because if I'm honest, I knew my bump wasn't getting any bigger. So for the last 3 weeks, people have said to me, oh, your bump, oh, it's such a cute like little football. That's what most people say. And as much as it's a compliment and it's lovely, and I obviously don't think anything bad of people that say it, it kept playing on my mind. I was like, it is small. I am smaller now than what I was with Oscar at this stage. I was bigger all the way through this pregnancy than I was with Oscar. And I think I remember saying in my like 18-week update, oh my goodness, my bump is like massive for this stage. But now it's petered off. So whilst we're talking about that, why don't I just go ahead and show you my bump so you guys can have a look, see what you think. Now, the midwife is not saying it is too small, that my bump is too small. It's just that the rate it has grown has dropped in pattern to what it was before. So they want to see why. So here we are. Here is my bump. As you can see, it's quite low, sitting quite low down there. Not a tiny bump by any stretch, but a neat bump. I think you can sort of see here where my body maybe was before and then what is bump. So that was my bump. Now I am perfectly happy with this actual size of my bump. Like, I'm not fussed at the size it is. I just know it's got a little bit, it's stopped growing as much as it should be, I suppose. But, you know, I've got 3 weeks left, potentially 5 weeks. Because I can guarantee you, I am waiting 2 weeks overdue, the same as I did with Oscar. I would really like it if he would come, and it's not because I'm being impatient, it's purely timing. I would like it if he came a week or 2 early, and there are a few reasons for this. The first reason is so that Oscar can be involved and enjoy the baby before he goes back to school. So it's not kind of like, oh, you go to school, I'll have baby at home. So he feels separated. I know that's normal, but I'm really conscious of that. The second reason, which is a bit silly, there's 2 mums in Oscar's class that have just had babies. One had one last week and the other one a few months ago. And it would be really nice if they were all in the same school year. So then we're like used to each other. We're doing the whole reception thing again. We are so lucky with Oscar's school and the mums there, and I get on with them so well. So I would love it if that happened. And the third reason, you're gonna think this is ridiculous. Simon has a lad's holiday booked for, I say a lad's holiday, he's going to watch a MotoGP in Italy, I think. Well, I say he's going to watch it. He would love to go and watch it, and it's been booked and planned before I fell pregnant. We didn't really think about it. But basically, I'm due on the 1st of September. He's due to fly out on the 12th of September. I have he never goes away with his friends. He goes away like once every 2 years. And I feel really guilty. I would feel really guilty if he didn't go. So we've said, if we've had the baby, even if the baby's a week old, I honestly don't mind him going. If I said to him, I don't want you to go, he wouldn't go. But I'm not saying that. I am happy for him to go. If the baby's like a week old, I'll go and stay with his mum. She'll help me out. It'll be no problem. It's if I haven't had the baby, he can't go. And also if I've only just had the baby, so the baby's like a day old or 2 days old, again, he can't really go. So I'm really hoping if it was like a week earlier, that would be ideal, because a week with Oscar before he goes to school obviously falls into the right school year. Yeah, and then Simon, it means that by the time he goes away, the baby will be like 3 weeks old. So and it's only a Friday to Monday thing. It's not like he's going for a whole week, so I'll be absolutely fine. I will cope completely fine. One more baby related thing, or the last baby related thing before I move on to the fitness, is that the midwife asked me what my birth plan was. Now, I am so open-minded. I don't personally think you can have a birth plan. I think you just need to go with the flow. Every labour's different. I'm not an expert, I've only had one, but how can you plan something when you don't know how it's gonna go? I mean, I have a preference. My preference would be to go into labour naturally, use a birthing pool, and not have an epidural. Best laid plans and all that If I feel like I want an epidural, I will have one. I am not precious. I do not have a strict idea in my mind as to how it has to go. All I know is that my husband is going to be there, my sister is going to be there, and the final thing I know is that my best friend Kelly has made me the most amazing playlist for my labour. I ordered a Bluetooth speaker from Amazon. It cost me like £6 the other day and it was amazing. She's done me a playlist on Spotify, which I might share with you all, because if anyone loves old school R&B, OMG, she is the queen of putting the right songs together. So I'm really excited about that. I would obviously love to show you, but I can't because of copyright. I'd love to show you that, but yeah, that I'm hoping will make it a really fun experience, maybe. So that is part of my birth plan. Now, that is kind of the end of my update and how I'm feeling. Have I got anything else to tell you re-pregnancy? Obviously, I sorted my nursery. You guys might know that we were due to start an extension in May and it hasn't happened. Oh my goodness, I'm going to do a separate video on this because I would go on and on and on forever about how frustrated I am with this. But anyway, there is light at the end of the tunnel. This week we have an architect working on our new plans, a new architect working on our new plans because the existing architect is nowhere to be seen, but that's another story. And once we have those plans back, you know, we're just going to start. I mean, maybe when the baby's a few weeks old, we're just going to start with the extension. So maybe by Christmas we will have our extension and I can do all the rooms really nicely and show you all of that. Anything else pregnancy related though? I don't think so. I've bought everything. I'm waiting for my baby Bjorn bouncer to arrive this week, which I'm really excited about. So I chose that because I had so many lovely people get back to me on the bouncer and said it was amazing. So I've ordered that. So the next part of this video is going to be how I lost my baby weight and how I intend to lose it this time. If this doesn't interest you, I completely understand it. Thank you for watching thus far. But if it does interest you, keep watching. I'm not going to go on forever. I'm just going to give you a few little bits of my advice. Last time in my pregnancy, I have no idea whether I put on more weight or less weight this time. What I can tell you is I did not go to the gym during my pregnancy last time. I did not exercise. I did eat healthily, but probably not as healthily as I eat now. I would say I probably put on more weight and I had no tone or definition to my body. It was only after I had Oscar that I got into my fitness. So the way I lost my baby weight was quite an unhealthy way of doing it. Well, I feel like it was quite an unhealthy way and I actually dropped far too much weight. So you may have seen on my stories, I absolutely love the Protein World Slender Blend shake. I have it in vanilla. You can use it as a meal replacement. So if you mix 4 scoops with some almond milk or normal milk or water, whatever you want to do, I use almond milk. It can work as a meal replacement. So I basically, after I stopped breastfeeding, I had 2 shakes a day and then a meal in the evening that was under 500 calories. So I was only consuming, I was consuming under 1,000 calories a day. So you can imagine how quickly the weight fell off me. When I got to 6 weeks and I was able to exercise, I started running. So where we lived was quite rural and there was a 3-mile like round trip. I used to do that 3-4 times a week. It was very unhealthy because I was burning a lot of calories. I wasn't eating nearly enough calories. I had no definition to my body. I was a stick basically. But I had a holiday booked 3 months after. And this is quite a good tip. Like, I've done it again this time. Book a holiday for a few months after your baby is born, if you can, obviously. And it gives you an incentive. So I was like, I got to be bikini ready. Now, I look back at the photos and I think you were just really thin, but I lost all the fat, I lost all the weight. So, and then it was after that I then started to work on my muscle tone. But yeah, so book a holiday because that's a great way to sort of try and think, right, no, I'm going to do this now. But I certainly will not be doing the same method this time. That was how I lost my weight. When I got to 9 weeks postpartum, I started going to a circuit class in my local gym where I lived at the time. I did that once or twice a week, I think. And that was it really. So I did my circuit class once or twice a week and I ran a few times a week. When I then moved back to this area, I started doing another circuit class, and that's where I started to get a love for weights and stuff, which we'll go into now. So this time round, how do I intend to lose my baby weight? So I most certainly won't be doing 2 shakes a day and an under 500 calorie meal. However, I will be using my Slender brand. I use it for smoothies because you can pack loads of stuff into it. Sometimes I do just have a shake for breakfast, so I will replace 1 meal a day. If I did replace 2 meals a day, my evening meal or my lunchtime meal would be much higher in calories and fats and things like that. I will still make sure I am meeting my calorie intake for the day. But there is no denying that if you are in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. So if you are not exercising and you are eating, say, what's it for your weight, you can look on MyFitnessPal, put your weight and everything in, and it says that you need to eat 1,500 calories a day in order to lose weight effectively. Just stick to that. So stick to your calorie intake. You need to be in a deficit to lose weight. I intend to, I've got a treadmill at home, and we intend to put a gym into the garden. Now, this is something that I've been wanting for a long, long time, and with baby number 2 on the way, I just feel like it's going to benefit me, because when I'm like feeling up to it, I'll be gymming 3 to 4 times a week because it's what I love, and I'm frustrated that I can't do it at the moment. So I've got a running machine at the moment, just in this room actually, just over there. So I will probably start, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks after I have the baby, maybe 4 weeks, like just walking. So that's all I'm doing at the moment. So I'll be doing like an incline walk. When I get to 6 weeks, I might up it to a little jog, and I'll be doing some toning workouts at home as well, which I will obviously document for you all. But first and foremost, I will be cutting back the amount I'm eating. So in these last few weeks, I have just gone for it. Yesterday, oh my goodness, we had like a fried breakfast at my mum's. I say fried, we had like low-fat chicken sausages and stuff like that, but it was a big meal. I then had a massive carvery, and then came home and ate cake. Like, those habits are gonna have to stop after I finish breastfeeding. I'm gonna enjoy it when I'm breastfeeding, but after that I will go back to clean eating. So we'll go back to eating, you know, probably a shake for breakfast. I would say a decent lunch, like I would have like a carby lunch, like a jacket potato or something like that, and then I'll have like a salad for my evening meal. So I will try and reduce my calories and do some light exercise. We have a holiday booked for November the 6th, so that is potentially 6 weeks after I have the baby, but hopefully 8 weeks or 10 weeks. Yeah, so it's a couple of months basically. So I plan to try and be kind of ready for that now. As you may know, I have been exercising during this pregnancy. I haven't been going to the gym for the last few weeks since my last hospital scare, but I have been doing some resistance band workouts, and also I've got a kettlebell at home, so I've been keeping the tone in my legs and my bum okay. It's nowhere near where it wants to be, but I've been keeping that kind of on a level, so I'm hoping that when I then have the baby, that is still there, and I've got muscle memory, so hopefully it'll be a bit quicker to get back in. But if you've never been to the gym before, it doesn't matter. The biggest thing is diet. So just make sure you're eating the right things. So eating the right vitamins and nutrients, and don't fast like I did. I mean, I did, but I was too skinny. Just, you know, you can fast 1 meal a day. So fasting in the morning works for me really, really well. But I tend to only do that if I've been overindulgent, and actually the rest of the time I just eat normally. I'm going to be honest, some people won't agree with this, and I'm not a personal trainer or nutritionist. I actually, when I'm trying to be good, I cut out things that have got flour in them, so bread and pasta. I tend to just eat my whole grain rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes. Those are the things I stick to. I don't know why, it just works for me. That's how I maintain my body when I'm not pregnant, so that is what I intend to do after I've had the baby. So that is it. That is how I lost my baby weight and how I intend to do it this time. Obviously I will document it so I can tell you if I'm successful or unsuccessful, and I will be documenting, you know, weekly postpartum body videos. If that's of any interest to anyone, please let me know, because this is kind of the main reason I started this channel, was my fitness and things around that because it's my passion. So that is it. That is the end of my 37-week pregnancy update. Bit of a mishmash. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and a subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.